Hey Pascal,
Hey,
how are you today?
good. You?
I'm good. Do you know what this interview is for?
Yes, you're gonna ask me a lot of questions.
Basically, yeah. I guess we'll get right into it then. Do you have a title for your thesis project?
Yes, it's called A Characterization of E. coli Levels in Freshwater Turtle Habitat as a Potential Indicator of Risk to Turtle Health and Recruitment.
Who's your supervisor?
Dr. Pascale Bider,
What department is she in?
Biology.
And what are we doing today?
We are going to collect some samples for my project.
And where are we collecting them?
We are in Coots Paradise in Dundas, Ontario.
Do you still go when it rains?
No,
How come?
it's dangerous.
Is that the only reason?
It's also because when it rains, it changes how the water flows into the wetland, and that would alter my results.
I see. What are you looking for in Coots Paradise?
We're looking for samples of water that turtles use as habitat, and then we're going to test those samples for E. coli.
What exactly is E. coli?
It's a bacteria that lives in the gut of warm-blooded animals.
And what does E. coli tell you?
It gives us an indication of how much poo is flowing into the system.
Gross? So if there are high levels of E. coli, what would that mean?
That would mean that somehow poo is ending up in our wetland, and that could come from either like sewage overflow or runoff from agricultural fields or something like that.
And that's bad, correct?
Yeah, that could have some pretty serious negative consequences for the species that live here.
How does it affect turtles?
There's been a little bit of research done about that, but for the species of turtles that live in this wetland, we don't really know how it's affecting them.
And why turtles?
The population here has been in decline for many years, and I want to know if sewage and bacteria have anything to do with that.
What are 3 adjectives you would use to describe your thesis project?
Smelly, sweaty, and rewarding.
And what are you doing right now?
I am getting my sampling equipment ready to go into the wetland and grab a sample.
How do you measure the E. coli?
I'm going to bring this water back to the lab and use a machine called a tecta, but we just call it the poop oven. And that cultures the bacteria and then gives us an idea of how many there are per 100 mils of water.
What are you going to do with the data you've collected?
I'm going to analyze it to see if there are any trends.
Have you done any field research before this project?
Yeah, I worked in this wetland on another turtle project over the summer with one of Pascale Bider's grad students.
And what was that like?
It was fun, but also pretty gross. We would have to make sure not to get any water on like open cuts or in our mouths because we were worried about the bacteria.
That doesn't sound too pleasant. What initially drew you to this project?
Well, that experience got me thinking. Like I can go home and shower at the end of the day, but for a turtle who has to live in this water all the time, like what is the bacteria doing to it?
Very true. What's the coolest thing you've learned so far?
I've learned a lot of new field techniques.
What's been the most challenging?
The heat. I find it really hard to do field work when it's super hot out.
You said you're working with Dr. Bider. How did you find her?
I was working in the lab next to hers 2 summers ago, and I would see her field crew come and go, and I thought, hey, that looks really cool. I want to try that.
If you had to describe her in one word, what would it be?
Opinionated.
What's the most helpful advice she's given you?
If you don't know what you're talking about, the less you say, the better.
What advice would you give to someone thinking about doing a thesis project?
I would say to think about what skills you want to develop, and then try to find someone in a lab that can teach you those skills.
Is this project related to what you want to do in the future?
Sort of.
What do you want to do in the future?
I want to work in conservation and land management, but I don't exactly know the details yet.
Fair enough. What do you like most about Coots Paradise?
It's really pretty. There are a lot of cool plant species here.
And what do you like most about fieldwork in general?
I like the hands-on aspect of it, and I like being outside.
Field or lab?
Field, all the way.
What are you going to do when you're done your fieldwork for today?
I'm going to go process my samples, clean my boots, and eat lots of food.
Sounds like a good plan. This is unfortunately the 37th question. Can you sing a line from a song that best represents your thesis right now?
Don't you know that you're toxic?
Thanks. Well, it's been a pleasure learning about your project. Thanks for letting me join you out here.
Thanks for joining me.
Best of luck with it.
See you soon.
Bye.